When we talk about the power of clarity, we're not just talking about speaking so others understand us. No, clarity goes deeper than that. Clarity is a way of life. It is a principle that, when embraced, frees you from confusion, misunderstanding, and the chaos that often comes from words that are left open to interpretation. Because, listen to me now, words, they are powerful. They are seeds that grow. They can build kingdoms or tear them down. But when your words are unclear, when they are vague or ambiguous, they leave room for doubt, for deception, for distortion. And that, my friend, is where the twisting begins. You see, people who want to twist your words, they look for cracks in your armor. They search for gaps in your explanation, moments when you weren't precise enough. And that's why clarity is your first and most important defense. It's the armor that protects you from the misinterpretations that come like wildfires, destroying your reputation, your relationships, and your peace of mind. So, how do we achieve this clarity? It starts with intention. You must be intentional with your words. Before you speak, ask yourself, what am I really trying to say? What do I want the listener to understand? Because if you don't know what you're trying to say, how can you expect anyone else to know? Clarity requires focus. It demands that you remove all unnecessary fluff and confusion. It demands that you cut to the heart of the matter. People are busy. They don't have time to decode riddles. They want truth, and they want it plainly. Clarity also requires honesty. Honesty with yourself first, and then with those who listen to you. Sometimes we hide behind half-truths, or we speak in ways that protect us but confuse others. We dance around issues. We soften our words. We use vague phrases to avoid confrontation or discomfort. But what happens then? Our words become like smoke, thin, insubstantial, and easily blown away or twisted. The power of your word is in its authenticity. Speak from a place of truth and watch how your words stand firm, even when others try to bend them. Another part of clarity is simplicity. Complexity can be beautiful in art and in thought, but in communication, complexity can be the enemy of understanding. When you use big words or complicated phrases unnecessarily, you give others the opportunity to misunderstand or misrepresent you. Simplicity does not mean dumbing down. It means making your message accessible. It means speaking so the common man can hear you and understand you, without having to search for hidden meanings or decode your language. And here's something many overlook. The power of pausing. Yes, pausing. When you rush your words, you trip over them. You give room for mistakes, for expressions, for things left unsaid. When you pause, you allow your mind to catch up with your heart and your mouth. You give your listener a chance to absorb what you've said. You create space for understanding. Pausing is the punctuation in your speech. It clarifies meaning and gives weight to your message. But clarity isn't just about the words themselves. It's also about how you deliver them. Your tone, your body language, your facial expressions. They all speak alongside your words. When your words say one thing but your body says another, confusion reigns. When you speak with confidence and calm, your clarity is reinforced. When you hesitate or show uncertainty, your words lose their power, and others fill in the gaps with their own assumptions. So, align your entire being, your words, your tone, your posture, with the truth you want to convey. Now, let me tell you something powerful. Clarity is not just for your benefit. It is a gift to those who listen to you. When you communicate clearly, you show respect for your audience. You show that you value their time, their attention, and their understanding. People will gravitate toward you when they know your words will not be a trap or a puzzle. They will trust you more when they know you mean what you say and say what you mean. But remember, clarity is a practice, not a destination. Even the best communicators stumble. We all have moments when we're misunderstood or when our words fall short. The difference lies in how you respond. When you recognize a lack of clarity, don't get defensive or frustrated. Instead, seek to clarify, repeat yourself if necessary, Explain your meaning again. Teach others how to understand you. That's where true power lies, not in never being misunderstood, but in having the wisdom and patience to restore clarity when confusion arises. And finally, understand this. Clarity is a reflection of your character. It reveals who you are on the inside. If you are clear in your mind and clear in your heart, your words will follow suit. Confusion often comes from internal conflict, when you don't know your own truth or when your emotions are tangled. So work on your inner clarity first. Seek peace within. Know your values, your purpose, your convictions. When your inner world is clear, your outer words will carry the same light. So, as you walk through life, know this: clarity is your sword and your shield. It is the power that guards your reputation, the light that cuts through darkness and misunderstanding. When your words are clear, they become unshakable. They become the foundation on which others can stand, not the sands that slip beneath their feet. Clarity does not just protect you from those who twist your words. It elevates you above the noise. Walk in clarity, speak with purpose, and watch how your words create a path of truth in a world eager to twist and turn what you say. Because when you are clear, nothing can be twisted that will make you fall. There is a power in owning your words. To own your words means to stand firm and say, "This is what I meant. This is my truth." It means you do not shy away from your statements, and you do not allow others to wrestle your meaning away from you. When you take responsibility for what you say, you become a person of integrity, a person who commands respect even in the face of opposition. You must understand, the moment you speak, your words are not just fleeting sounds. They become part of your identity. They follow you, they precede you, and they shape how the world sees you. But here's the challenge many face. When their words are twisted or misrepresented, their first instinct is to retreat, to deny, to backtrack, or even to blame others for misunderstanding them. And in that moment they lose power. They relinquish control. Because when you refuse to take ownership, you allow others to rewrite your story. You give away the pen that writes your narrative. And once your story is no longer yours, you become a victim of circumstance, tossed by the tides of confusion and misinterpretation. To own your words is to claim them no matter what. Even when your words are challenged, even when others try to distort your message, you do not flinch. You don't say, "Oh, maybe I didn't mean that," or "I didn't say it like that." You say, "Yes, I said this, and here is what I meant." You clarify with confidence. You do not apologize for your truth unless you realize you were wrong. Not because someone else wants you to apologize, but because you are committed to growth and honesty. Owning your words also means being mindful of the weight they carry. Words are not just empty vessels. They carry power. Power to heal, power to hurt, power to inspire, power to destroy. When you speak, you are planting seeds. Some of those seeds will grow into blessings. Some may grow into thorns. But you are responsible for the seeds you plant. This responsibility is not something to fear. It is something to embrace. Because when you understand the impact of your words, you will choose them more carefully. You will speak with purpose and not with carelessness. You will speak to build, not to break. There is something liberating about owning your words fully. It frees you from the chains of defensiveness. When you know exactly what you said and why you said it, you don't have to live in fear of misinterpretation. You don't have to waste energy trying to please everyone or trying to rewrite your past. You can stand tall in the truth you spoke, knowing that your clarity and conviction will outlast the noise of distortion. But here's a truth that might surprise you. Owning your words sometimes means admitting when you misspoke. It means humility. It means courage to say, "I see now that what I said was not clear or not accurate." This is not weakness. It is strength. True ownership of your words means you are accountable to yourself first. You hold yourself to a higher standard because you want to grow, you want to improve. You want your words to be a reflection of your best self. When you own your words, you disarm your critics. There is nothing more powerful than a person who stands firmly in what they said, yet is open to learning and correcting course if necessary. This shows maturity and wisdom. It shows you are not afraid of your own voice. Instead, you are the master of it. People respect those who can own their truth without being rigid or defensive. Owning your words also means protecting your reputation fiercely but fairly. When someone twists your words, your first response should never be panic or anger. Instead, it should be calm, measured, and precise. You reclaim the narrative by restating your point clearly. You do not engage in petty arguments or personal attacks. You rise above the noise with dignity. This is ownership in action. It shows you are in control, not just of what you say, but of how you respond. There is a spiritual dimension to owning your words as well. In many traditions, words are sacred. They carry life or death, blessing or curse. When you own your words, you honor the sacred trust given to you every time you speak. You recognize that your words can either contribute to chaos or to peace. This awareness transforms how you speak. You become intentional, thoughtful, and wise. Another aspect of ownership is consistency. Your words must match your actions. You cannot claim one thing and live another. People watch and listen, not just to what you say, but to how you live. When your actions align with your words, your credibility skyrockets. You become a beacon of truth in a world full of confusion and deceit. So, as you walk through your day, remember, owning your words is not about being perfect. It is about being real, being responsible, and being courageous. It is about claiming your voice and refusing to let others rewrite your story. When your words are twisted, you do not crumble. You stand firm, you clarify, and you move forward. Because at the end of the day, your words are your legacy. They are the echoes that outlive you. Make sure they carry the weight of your truth, your integrity, and your strength. Own your words, and you own your life. When your words are twisted, the natural impulse is often to react quickly, sometimes angrily, sometimes defensively, sometimes even with hurt. But here is the truth that many miss. How you respond in those moments reveals the strength of your character and the wisdom of your spirit. Responding with wisdom means you don't allow the distortion of your words to dictate your emotions or your actions. It means you rise above the heat of the moment and answer with clarity, grace, and power. You see, wisdom is not the absence of conflict or challenge. Wisdom is how you engage with those challenges. It is the ability to choose your response carefully instead of reacting impulsively. When your words are twisted, responding with wisdom means taking a breath, stepping back, and assessing the situation before you speak. It means asking yourself, what is the best way to bring clarity and peace here? How can I protect my truth without feeding into confusion or anger? Too often, people respond to twisted words with more words, hasty, defensive words. They get caught in a cycle of argument that only fans the flames, but wisdom says, not so fast. It says, let me hold my peace for a moment. Let me respond in a way that diffuses tension rather than escalates it. This is a powerful choice, because once you respond out of anger or frustration, you lose control over your message and often damage your own credibility. But when you respond with wisdom, you reclaim the narrative. Responding with wisdom also means choosing your words carefully. This is not about avoiding confrontation or being passive. It's about being intentional. You use words that heal, clarify, and strengthen. You avoid words that hurt, confuse, or divide. And sometimes the wisest response is to say very little. Silence can be more powerful than any argument. Silence can calm storms and give others the chance to rethink their misinterpretation. But silence also must be used with purpose. not out of fear or weakness, but out of strength and strategy. Moreover, wisdom recognizes the importance of tone and demeanor. When you respond to twisted words, the way you say something matters just as much as what you say. Responding with calm confidence, with a steady voice and steady gaze, sends a message far beyond the words themselves. It says, I am in control. I am not shaken by your attempts to distort my truth. People listen not just to words, but to the energy behind them. Wisdom teaches us to communicate in a way that projects strength without aggression, peace without passivity. There is also a spiritual dimension to responding with wisdom. Wisdom is a fruit of the Spirit, a sign of maturity in your walk and in your understanding. It means you don't let pride or anger control your tongue. Instead, you submit your response to a higher standard, to a divine measure of patience and love. You remember that your words carry eternal weight, and you desire to be a blessing, not a curse, even in difficult moments. When you respond with wisdom, you reflect a character that is grounded and unshakable, no matter what others throw at you. Another key aspect of wisdom in response is discernment. Not every twisted word deserves your correction. Sometimes people twist your words because they don't want to listen. They want to provoke. Wisdom gives you the ability to discern when to engage and when to let it go. There is power in choosing your battles. Not every misunderstanding needs to become a confrontation. Sometimes responding might mean walking away with dignity, knowing you have said what you need to say clearly, and that further conflict will not change hearts or minds. Responding with wisdom also means learning from each experience. Each time your words are twisted, ask yourself, what can I learn? How can I improve my clarity? How can I grow in patience and strength? Wisdom is not stagnant. It grows with each challenge. It makes you better, stronger, and more effective as a communicator and as a person. It builds your resilience and deepens your understanding of human nature. When you respond with wisdom, you set an example for others. People will watch how you handle difficult moments. They will learn from your grace under pressure. Your response can inspire peace in a world too often marked by conflict and misunderstanding. You become a light, a steady voice of reason amidst the chaos. This is no small thing. It is a ministry of reconciliation, a bridge built with words and character. Finally, wisdom teaches you to forgive, not just others, but yourself as well. Sometimes you may stumble, you may respond too quickly or too harshly. Wisdom does not demand perfection. It calls for humility. It encourages you to forgive your own mistakes and to strive continually to respond better. Forgiveness frees you from the bitterness that can poison your heart and your speech. It opens the door for healing and restoration. So, when your words are twisted, remember, you have a choice. You can respond with anger and frustration, or you can respond with wisdom. Choose wisdom. Choose patience, choose clarity, choose peace, because how you respond will shape not only the outcome of the moment, but the trajectory of your relationships, your reputation, and your life. Respond with wisdom, and you will find that no matter how hard others try to twist your words, the truth will always shine through. There is a phrase, a simple, powerful phrase, that you can use when others try to twist your words. This phrase is more than just a sentence. It is a tool, a shield, and a bridge all at once. It transforms confusion into clarity, tension into peace, and misinterpretation into understanding. It disarms negativity without aggression and restores control without arrogance. This phrase gives you the power to stand firm in your truth while inviting others to listen and reflect. What is this phrase? It is this: let me clarify what I meant. At first glance it may seem simple, too simple to be powerful, but the beauty lies in its humility and strength. When you say, let me clarify what I meant, you are acknowledging that sometimes communication can be imperfect, but you are taking ownership of your words. You are not running from the misunderstanding. You are not blaming the other person. You are stepping forward with openness and confidence. You are saying, I am committed to truth. I am willing to explain. I am not afraid to be understood. This phrase has the power to transform a potentially hostile or confusing situation into one of dialogue and respect. When someone twists your words, emotions can run high: defensiveness, anger, frustration. But when you calmly say, let me clarify what I meant, you shift the energy. You take the heat out of the situation by refusing to meet aggression with aggression. Instead, you offer a peaceful invitation to understand. This is strength wrapped in humility, power wrapped in grace. Using this phrase also shows wisdom. It shows that you understand communication is a two-way street. Sometimes people misunderstand not because they want to hurt you, but because words are tricky. They have different backgrounds, different experiences, different ways of interpreting the same sentence. When you say, let me clarify what I meant, you recognize this diversity of understanding and you bridge the gap. You create an opportunity for connection rather than division. Furthermore, this phrase works because it centers the conversation back on your intention. When words are twisted, the focus often shifts to what the other person believes you said, not what you actually meant. This phrase gently brings the focus back to your original message. It says, I want to make sure you hear my true meaning. It reminds everyone involved that the goal is not to win an argument, but to reach understanding. There is also a deep respect embedded in this phrase, respect for yourself and respect for the listener. When you say, let me clarify what I meant, you are honoring your own voice and your own truth. You refuse to be misrepresented or diminished. At the same time, you show respect to the other person by inviting them into your world of meaning. You are not shutting them out or dismissing their concerns. You are engaging with them honestly and openly. This phrase also prevents escalation. Instead of firing back with accusations or counterattacks, you offer a pause, a moment of reflection. You create space for dialogue rather than conflict. This is essential in maintaining peace in relationships, whether in the workplace, in families, or in public discourse. When misunderstandings happen, they can either become barriers or bridges. This phrase turns them into bridges. Beyond the immediate moment, the use of this phrase builds your reputation as a person of integrity and calm. People notice when someone handles difficult conversations with grace and clarity. They are drawn to that energy. They trust a person who seeks understanding rather than conflict. Over time, this builds respect and influence. People will think twice before twisting your words because they know you will respond thoughtfully and firmly. Now, this phrase is not just about words, it's about mindset. When you decide to say, let me clarify what I meant, you are choosing patience over pride, wisdom over impulse, and peace over conflict. You are choosing to lead the conversation rather than being led by emotion. This mindset is transformative. It changes how you experience misunderstandings, not as threats, but as opportunities to teach, to learn, and to grow. This phrase also encourages you to be intentional in your clarification. You don't just say it and leave it vague. You take the time to explain precisely what you meant. You might say, when I said X, I was trying to express Y because. This shows depth of thought and commitment to genuine communication. It also helps prevent future misunderstandings because you are reinforcing your message clearly and kindly. Moreover, using this phrase teaches others how to communicate better with you. It sets a standard for dialogue, one that values clarity, respect, and patience. When people see that you respond this way, they are more likely to listen carefully and think twice before jumping to conclusions or twisting your words. It raises the bar for the quality of conversation, and here is the final truth. This phrase is not just for others, it is for you. It reminds you to slow down, to think before speaking, to be clear in your own mind about what you want to say. It is a tool for self-reflection as much as it is for external communication. When you regularly practice clarifying your words, you become a better communicator overall. Your thoughts become clearer, your intentions purer, your messages more powerful. So, when someone tries to twist your words, don't let frustration take over. Instead, say to yourself and to them, "Let me clarify what I meant." Let this phrase be your anchor in storms of confusion. Let it be the bridge that connects misunderstanding to understanding. Let it be the light that shines through the fog of miscommunication. Because in that simple phrase lies your power to transform any conversation, to protect your truth, and to walk in the confidence that your words will be heard as you intend them. Maintaining your inner peace when your words are twisted is one of the greatest challenges you will ever face. It is easy to become rattled, to lose your calm, to allow frustration and anger to rise up inside you like a storm. But true strength, real power, comes from holding onto peace even in the most difficult moments. When others misrepresent what you have said, they are trying to provoke a reaction. They want to see you unsettled, off balance, vulnerable. But when you maintain your inner peace, you refuse to give them that power. You become a fortress, unshakable, steady, and confident. Inner peace is not about ignoring what has happened or pretending you don't care. It is not about bottling up emotions until they explode. Inner peace is about mastery over yourself. It is about acknowledging the hurt, the frustration, the injustice, but refusing to be ruled by those feelings. You recognize that peace is a choice, a deliberate decision to hold on to calm in the face of chaos. This choice is not easy, but it is transformative. When you maintain your inner peace, you protect your mind and your heart. You keep your focus clear and your judgment sound. This clarity is essential because when emotions run wild, your ability to think and respond wisely diminishes. You might say things you regret, or you might act in ways that harm your reputation or relationships. But when you anchor yourself in peace, you create space for thoughtful action. You respond rather than react. Maintaining inner peace also protects your energy. Twisted words and misunderstandings can drain your spirit. They can pull you into endless cycles of defending yourself, correcting others, or dwelling on what was said. This mental and emotional exhaustion can wear you down, affect your health, and steal your joy. But peace replenishes your spirit. It is like a deep well you can draw from whenever you face confusion or conflict. This well keeps you strong and resilient. One of the keys to maintaining inner peace is to remember your identity and your purpose. When you know who you are and why you speak your truth, the attempts to twist your words lose their power. You stand firm because your confidence is rooted in something deeper than the opinions or misunderstandings of others. You remind yourself that your value is not determined by how others interpret your words, but by your own integrity and commitment to truth. Faith plays a vital role in this process. Believing that there is a higher power guiding your steps, that justice and truth will ultimately prevail, gives you a perspective that transcends momentary trials. It helps you to trust that even when your words are twisted, your spirit remains intact. Faith teaches patience and perseverance. It gives you strength to endure and wisdom to navigate the storm. Another important aspect of maintaining peace is forgiveness. This might sound difficult when you feel wronged, but forgiveness is not about excusing the behavior of others. It is about releasing yourself from the bitterness and anger that can poison your heart. When you forgive, you free yourself to move forward with a lighter spirit. Forgiveness is a gift you give to yourself. It creates space for healing and renewal. Self-care is also essential. Maintaining inner peace means taking care of your whole self, mind, body, and spirit. When you nurture yourself through rest, reflection, prayer, meditation, or other forms of renewal, you build a foundation of peace within. This foundation is what holds you steady when external forces try to shake you. You become less reactive because your well-being is strong. It is also wise to set boundaries. Peace is protected when you know when to engage and when to step back. Sometimes The best way to maintain peace is to distance yourself from toxic conversations or harmful people. Setting boundaries is an act of self-respect. It tells the world, and yourself, that your peace matters and you will guard it fiercely. Maintaining inner peace also involves cultivating a mindset of gratitude. Even in difficult moments, there is always something to be thankful for. Gratitude shifts your focus from what is wrong to what is good. It lightens your heart and opens your eyes to the blessings still present. This shift in perspective is a powerful antidote to anger and frustration. Finally, maintaining your inner peace strengthens your witness. People notice when you remain calm and composed in the face of adversity. Your peace becomes a testimony, a sign that you are grounded in truth and wisdom. It draws others to you and creates opportunities for reconciliation and understanding. Your peace can be a balm in a world often marked by conflict and misunderstanding. So, when your words are twisted and the temptation to respond in anger or despair rises, remember this. Your peace is your power. Hold on to it with all your might. Protect it as the treasure it is. Because when you maintain your inner peace, you rise above the noise. You become a beacon of strength and calm. You demonstrate that no matter what others say or do, you are anchored in something greater, something unshakable. Your peace is your victory. So, when they twist your words, and they will, remember this, you hold the power to rise above. You own your words, and you refuse to let others steal your voice or rewrite your story. You respond with wisdom, not haste, with grace, not anger. You wield the transformative phrase, "Let me clarify what I meant," as your shield and your bridge, bringing light to confusion and peace to chaos. And most importantly, you guard your inner peace fiercely, knowing that it is the source of your strength and the foundation of your victory. Let the world know that your words are your legacy, and no one can distort your truth without your permission. Stand tall in your integrity, speak boldly with clarity, walk forward with calm confidence, because when you do, nothing can silence you, nothing can shake you, and nothing can diminish the power of your voice. This is your moment. This is your time. Own it, speak it, live it, and watch how your truth will shine brighter than any twist, louder than any misinterpretation, and stronger than any opposition. You were made to be heard, unapologetically, authentically, and powerfully.